Good morning. Right, no one in yet, but I've posed a question. What's the? I can't remember exactly how I posed it actually, but what's the max you will spend on cost of goods? So it could be like I would spend 100 to make 100. I'm interested because we would all. Let's turn this to live chat. Will that make a difference? I'm talking to myself at the moment. Yeah, I'll wait till somebody's in and we'll talk about that. And I've got some what's going out. I haven't got any hauly bits because it was dry as the Sahara last week. Yeah. Hang on. Because would you spend 100 quid to make 100 quid? If it was, if you could sell it within a week. Good morning, Leanne. Morning, Neil. How are you both? You would, Neil. Yeah. So I was fanning around yesterday on Vinted. I was having a look at what's available on there because I was listening to people talking about sniping again, and I'll just have a little look. And there was a Cezanne wool. I don't know if it was tweed, but it was like a nice check blazer, sort of thing I'd love to pick up. But it was maybe 30 or 35, and then you've got the buy protection on top and postage. So must have been looking at maybe 40, 45. Yeah, I'm still unsure. But I was fanning around looking at comps on eBay, and of course it went. And that made me think you could certainly have at least doubled your money on that. But it's so nice to be able to pick something up, for a couple of quid and turn and make 20. Obviously that's fabulous, but sometimes I'm thinking, am I missing a trick here? Because I do like to turn stuff over really freaking quick. But then the other thing I've done is invest money into something and then it's hung around and then I just hate the thing. I just hate it because I've got so much money tied up in it. I suppose you've got to be really, really familiar with the style and the brand or whatever it is you're buying and really super confident that it's going to sell quick. Because I've fluffed up a number of times on that. Pure Vintage, good morning. Good morning, Babs. Pure Vintage, no limit. If you see a profit in it, buy it before someone else does. Thank you, Pure Vintage. Now I will come on in a few days and go, I'm skimp. I've spent all my money. Nothing's selling. I felt, I kind of keep thinking about the one that got away yesterday. And I'm like, oh, yeah, you felt that, didn't you? Maybe that's a lesson. Thing is, I'm so easily led. Like I could buy something that could work and then I could get all over excited and buy too many things that don't work. I have to be a bit careful with myself because I know what I'm like. But that's interesting. Yeah, no limit. Oh, the other hot news off the press is don't shout at me, the people that aren't. Oh, Neil, not Neil. Who I was getting mixed up with Neil. Peter Vinegar Jar's not in. He'll shout at me, so you can guess what it is. Pure Vintage, trust your gut and your knowledge. Yeah, need to get really confident with it. Dawn, higher end items do take much longer to sell, often over a year. So I can't do over a year. I know I can't. Unless a bit of jewellery I could, because that just sits quietly in the drawer, not bothering anybody. But like a jumper or something, there's no way that could last a year in my house because it would be gone. But big profits make it worth the wait. Yeah, I know that I can't. It's got to be a quick turnover as well for me, which is good because then you're worrying about it less. But I can't. Well, you'll see the stuff. I'm just like, oh yeah, I'll take that because the money's back. But Funky Neil, typically I buy with a view to making at least 35%, especially on higher value items, 80 plus sale price. Oh, this is interesting. Usually I buy way under 50% or much more of sale price. Giving me some confidence here. Watch me get some stuff in and then come back to you and go, I've just spent £150 on this. And you go, oh no. Right, anyway, I'll show you what's going on. Oh yeah, sorry, the hot news off the press. I have rejoined the group, the Tech and Sports group. And the reasons why is because I'm doing so much clothing. When I was pretty, like 95% jewelry, when I was in the group, although the American jewelry ladies was mostly ladies, invited me to their Facebook group, which I'm still in, and very welcoming. But the stuff that sells in America is really different than what's available to the stuff jewelry-wise that sells here, in my opinion. They have a lot more glitzy stuff that it's just not. It's a very different market, and I felt like to get your money's worth, I felt like it was really good if you were a clothing seller. I felt like the UK group was quite clothing oriented, and a lot of male clothing. So I think there were some females in the group, but I think it was quite male heavy. Anyway, so I did leave, and then because I'm doing lots of clothing, I thought, well, actually, I tell you, there's a couple of things that drew me back in. The clothing knowledge. I thought this could be more useful to me now. And also Chica is doing a clothing call, which I think she does one and Benji does one, like alternate weeks. And I thought, I wouldn't mind some of Chica's knowledge that's being imparted. And they've got a vintage call now. I think that's been going a couple of weeks or something. Or was it longer than that? Yeah, they've got a vintage call now, and I thought, I've got to come back. I mean, that's really of use to me. So that's why I'm back. Well, only since yesterday, day 4. Yeah, so there you go. Right. And then I'll show you what's going on. Leanne, Shelley, do you think that being in the group will help a lot with motivation more than clothing insights, as the brands are often different? Motivation, possibly motivation, but like the UK, obviously I'll probably be concentrating on the UK group and the Vintage group, which is all UK. So that would be all right. Or were you talking about jewelry then? Oh no, you were talking about clothing, weren't you? Yeah. Although the other thing is, I'm finding that, I mean, it's often the way that brands and stuff that are big in the US do end up becoming big here. So it's quite a good heads up as well. Leanne, I didn't think they had that many UK calls. Yeah, so there's one. It's expanded. So before there was just the once a week UK call, and now you've got the UK call, you've got a clothing call, which is UK, and you've got a vintage. So there's 3 calls a week, which is all good for me. Yeah, I only source at auction, and my max bid is never more than 65% of the minimum sale value. I feel like with the boots, well, the last bit I didn't even look, because the last boot I went to was really the drag. So I've knocked the boots on the head now. Like in the winter, I feel like I may need to do some online sourcing. Let's see. Yeah. Right, I'll show you what's going out. So just jewelry from eBay. Let me count. Oh, where's my jewelry? 4 bits of jewelry on eBay, and I think I'm on about 180 items on eBay at the moment, and 3, 4, 5 bits from Vinted. But I only have, let me have a look how many bits I've got on Vinted at the moment. On And Vinted, I've got 27 items. And I think my Vinted's linked in the description. It's certainly linked on my Insta. You know, happy for you to go and have a nose. Oi, Simon. Oh, hello, Simon. So you're king of, you two are king and queen of spending pence, aren't you? And turning that over pretty well. Referring to the title of what's your like limit on your cost of goods if you could turn it over, if you're confident you could turn it over relatively quickly. Right, so yeah, the jewelry that's going out, let's see. This little teardrop, it is actually Birmingham UK hallmarks, but just didn't have the interest, so accepted an offer of 20. Usually pay up to about tenner for the rings. This one is all silver, is a rainbow quartz. And what did that go for? 18. Last ring, I did show you this. This came from the boot, this pickup. And bizarrely, so this sort of proves my point with the Vinted, my silver not being very good on Vinted, because I could not flog this for even like £12, and it went for 24 on the bay, and I paid a tenner. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with jewelry on Vinted, but it's not there yet. Charm bracelet, this went on clearance, so it's just one of those little things. Paid a tenner and it went for 12. So yeah, just a clearance one. So the Vinted sales. Morning, Jen. Veronica, how are you? Feel free to answer the question. What's your maximum you'd spend on cost of goods for a quick flip? So I showed you, I can't remember, some of these bits I showed either on, I can't talk, I might have shown on Insta last week, which is saved on my Insta, Shelsey Insta if you want to see it. Anyway, Molten Brown, these hand creams I paid $6.99 for, and they went for 18 in a couple of days. Very happy with that sort of shizzle. This I got last week, couldn't believe it, from an Oxfam, 99p. Like I was rummaging in their kind of pot of, I don't know, random purses and stuff, and it went for 11, so a little tenner. Went mad on watches, actually. It was like 50 odd watches, and people offering me like £8. In fact, the person that bought it, I think offered me 8, and I said, I've had a couple of offers of 10 already, and then I just reduced it down to 11, and they paid that. And they apologised as well, said, sorry, I just really wanted it. Don't be sorry, it's fine, I'll get out and post you tomorrow. Anyway, 10 on that with a 99p investment. I also like that. Simon, anything really if we're confident in the sale? The limit is depending on the risk. Turned away a KitchenAid that probably would have done well if working, but the guy wanted 150. Oh, yeah, I wouldn't be confident with that either. This is I'm very happy with this sale. Picked this up when I was out with Crispy and Catherine last time. It was £2.50. It was somebody had taken it up at the bottom, because I thought, this is something, I couldn't find the care label and I couldn't work it out. And then when sometimes you get something back and you go, oh, they've taken it up. So I unpicked it and steamed the line like they'd not cut it or anything, and that sold for 25 on the V's. Happy with that as well. Yeah, anything over 20 I'm overjoyed with. You see, I just don't know. I just can't hold on to, I can't hold on to stuff, but I will take pretty much any offer if it means it's going quickly. So bought these Saturday afternoon when I was out with Maud. 2 jumpers, paid £8.99 each, and accepted an offer of 50 quid for the pair. It's like, yeah, that'll do me. This one is actually from the Arran Sweater Market on the Isle. What else does it say? Does it say Isle of Arran or something? Made in Ireland, Arran Islands. Yeah, that was there. I thought, well, that's got to be good. It had like a splodge, like food. Both of them had food splodged down the front, actually. It might have been the same person, so I had to just sponge those out. And then job was a good one. Yeah, so happy with that. And then this one, same shop, another £8.99, bit fair Ali, bit woolly, and this one was a Scottish one, a Scottish woolly. So yeah, both in about size large. Yeah, I think they're sold within a couple of hours. So you know, obviously they're sold within a couple of hours. Probably could have hung on and got a bit more, but a bit more isn't enough for me. Like if I'm getting an alright profit from it quick, that's worth it to turn it over for me. This one, I went to there used to be a Thames hospice locally, and managers are moody bee, and it was generally overpriced. I bought hardly anything ever in there. And they've moved, they closed down and they've opened a superstore, which is within cycling distance. So it's been open a couple of weeks. So I went yesterday, and it's literally the same shop on a grander scale, like everything overpriced. If it's Marks and Spencer's, it's £9.50 up. I mean, it's just, and the bizarre thing is I didn't see people buying anything. Saw a lot of people looking at stuff and not picking anything up and not buying anything. When I went to the till, there was no queue, given that this is a warehouse, like it's huge. So they've got all of these kind of displays of like, you know, like a whole lounge, a sofa, or a whole table set up with all, you know, cutlery and everything. Given that there's that amount of stuff there, and then all the clothing, a whole kids area, I didn't see anybody buying anything. And there's a cafe there, and the cafe was rammed. And I saw lots of old people coming up because they could park outside, go to the cafe. I bet they didn't buy anything. So, yeah, stupid. Anyway, however, I did buy this because it was the only thing that was, you know, would work, because it was hand knit. I guess they didn't know how to price it. It was £6. I was like, oh, mohair. It's like the sea, the colours. And I thought, oh, some whimsy goth's going to want this, aren't they? And somebody offered me 15. I was like, yeah, that'll do. That's just, you know, very quick profit. Jobs are good. And that's it. But I feel like I need a little bit more turning over, because that's my weekend sales. I did do a post Saturday morning, but it's not all that, is it, for the income that I require? Yeah, I'm going to wrap it up there. I'm going to package and go out on the hunt. I think I'm going to be doing a fair amount of that this week, so I might be back with a haul later. If you're watching back, let me know in the comments what's your max cost of goods. What are you willing to shell out? I think I would be more confident as well if it is a quick flip, because then, you know, I don't have to worry about it for too long. That the money's going to come back, especially with clothing, because stuff, you know, fashion changes, so you might be lumbered. But anyway, thank you for joining me. Have a great week, and bye-bye, don't die.